let's break down this train wreck of a guitar solo. I actually had to put the ring of power on to get through this one. But the reason this song is so complicated as a guitar solo, it's not that the parts are complicated. It's just there are 3 guitars happening simultaneously. So it's almost impossible to tell which is doing what. So in my intro there, I didn't play it exactly right. I've never played it exactly right. I did try to play something that was a little more in line with what Tony did on the recording, but when I play it live, I don't play it anything like that on all the fast parts. But I kind of want to give you a basic idea of what's happening so you can kind of piece together your own solo from this versus learning it note for note, because it's impossible. So the first thing you want to focus on is what are the melody parts, because the melody parts are what people are going to know if they're right or wrong. And the first thing is this melody it's on the A string. So 11, so G sharp to A, down to E, down to D, and back up to E. So 11, 12, 12, 11, 7, 5, 5, 7. Now the thing that's tricky about that is there's an open E string in between some of those notes. Oops. So I'll do that again, keep it slow so you can kind of watch my picking hand. One more time. Do it slow again. Now there's another riff that goes back up, so you're going to start down low on 7. So you're still playing all those notes. It's almost like you're doing it backwards. The difference is you end on the A string 12, 14. So I'm going to put all that together slow. At tempo, that's going to be so hopefully that makes sense. You can follow it pretty well. So it's just 12, 11, 7, 5, all on the A string. The melody is all happening on A string. You're droning an open E in between every 2 notes, basically. Now when he gets to the bottom, I know I messed it up, so you make fun of me. When you get to the bottom, he's going to walk up. So let's discuss what's happening. When he gets to this point in the solo, you're basically doing a pentatonic scale. Pentatonic means 5-note scale. And an E pentatonic, so 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14. That's 1 octave. So 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15. So let's talk about what's happening first. We got so you get to the end of it, and you got the so it's on the A string 12, 14, and D string 12, 14. Then you go down to the G string on the 12th fret. And that happens twice with the G string. Now we're going to do, I always called this the butterfly to my students. I don't know why, but there's this lick that so he's going to walk up twice. So you're going to bend on 14 of the G string and then 12 on the bottom two. And he does that 3 times. Two bends on 15 of the B string. So we got this is where it goes stupid and where you can kind of do whatever you want. So there's a lick where he walks down. So when you get to the when he does the bend, you're going to drop down to E, 15, or a D, down to B. So there's this little pull-off figure that he keeps repeating. It's 15, 12, 14. So B strings, 15 and 12, 14 on the G string. Which he actually does a lot in Black Sabbath songs. It's a good figure to figure out because it's going to happen a lot. So that's the other thing that I kind of hear that sticks out to me is after the so through that whole section you're going to hear a lot because there are 3 guitars crossing over each other. So it's kind of tough to figure out what to listen for. What I listen for is after the whole thing, there's a high note on the 15 here, the G, 3 of them, and it's just chaos. So at that point, it's kind of whatever you want to do as long as it's falling in that little box here, the pentatonic box. And one guitar part shows that he's and you can slide out of that box a little bit, so back 2 frets. It's hard to tell you what to play, so it's kind of one of those things, figure it out for yourself, but listen for what's catching your ear. To me, what's catching my ear is the and that's kind of what I do live. It's faster than what he's doing, but it works. You kind of need to do the same thing. Figure out what works for you. Just up till you get to fit something in there. But I think at least now, hopefully you can hear the melody a little better. Now, here's the part I really can't do, so I cheat. Don't tell anybody. So he gets down here. That's called a unison bend because you're using the note on the bottom to bend up to the note that you're holding down. So 7th fret on the B string and 9th fret on the G string. So you got the bend. Probably going to have to use 2 fingers. I play on heavier gauge strings, so I have to use 2 fingers. But if you're playing on lighter strings, you might not have to. And after you do that, you're going to drop down to 7 on the G string. To 7, G, 9th fret on the D string, back up to 7, back up to 9 on the G string, which is E. Now here's where it gets tricky. What Tony really does, I can't do. I'm just not that fast. He actually slides down to 11. I can't do it. So I cheat and I do a bend. It works. It's sloppy. It's sloppy in the original, so I guess it's okay. So you got the unison bend again at the end. Then you go back to the... Now this is cool. He bends at the 6th fret. Because 7 on the A and open E is an octave E, but he's actually bending up to it. Then you come down to the power chord, the E, 12th fret. And that's the end of the solo. Yep, this is kind of a rough one. The last solo is not so bad because there's not as much going on. But the thing to take from this is listen for what the melody's playing. Stay inside that pentatonic box. And hit that open E at the end of it. And you'll fit something in there that works. Because when Tony's playing live, he's just kind of... Yeah, a lot of bends, and I don't hear the live versions I've heard. He doesn't go up to the... I just like that. So anyway, that's the first solo in War Pigs, as evil as it is. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit like and subscribe, and we'll be coming back soon with tutorial number 4, which will look at the outro solo, which is one of my favorite parts of the song. And we'll see you again. Keep rocking.